Hey, it's Jay Zawaski and Rick Camp from the I'm Fat podcast. And before we get started, we want to tell you about another podcast we think you might really like. It's called Candy is Dandy. It really is. And it's the world's only podcast devoted entirely to reviewing candy.
Yeah, it's not just reviewing what candy is, but also like, how did candy come about? You know, like, okay, Snickers. Maybe named after a horse? Not Larry Horse, but a horse. That's so like that type of stuff. I love the background of anything that we can find. So I think that's like a cool added element to it.
Yeah, so the format for each episode is they pick a different candy and then they give its history and then they taste and review it on the air, which is a really great idea. They've tasted way too many peach rings with Comedy Bang Bang's Carl Tart. And if you love candy like we do, you're going to love this show. It's really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's candy.
Yes.
There's always new stuff.
There is.
And the origins of all these things are also just like really cool because some things are out of necessity and some are out of pure gluttony.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to see which is which.
And I want to find out, was the horse chocolate, caramel, and nut flavored? Thus the name Snickers. Which came first? I'll have to find that episode. You can find that episode and all of their episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for Candy is Dandy, the Candy Review Podcast, anywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat podcast
snacks are best saved for later.
with Jay Zawaski
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
and Rick Camp.
Out of the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. Refreshed after a week off, I'm Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawaski. And Jay, I don't know about you, but that was a much needed week off. I feel a bit refreshed, and we have a ton to get to today.
Well, nothing takes it out of you like travel. I mean, that's even if it's travel you're enjoying, I need a vacation from my vacation. Am I right? Like that lame proverb or whatever it is exists for a reason. So yeah, we're happy to be back. We've got a ton to get to. So we're going to do it. But first, we got to tell you about all of the stuff you need to know. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at I'mFatPod. We've got our Patreon page, patreon.com/I'mFatPod. YouTube, every episode is available on YouTube on Tuesdays, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Merch available at I'mFatMerch.com. And I think that's everything, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. All right, Rick, you have been to Cleveland and Vegas, 2 towns always compared to each other. Where do you want to start? Because I'm excited to hear your stories.
For the love of God, let's go with Vegas.
Can't imagine.
And that's just chronologically too. So I had my couple days in Springfield of survival, then had Vegas, which was just, it started out bad because we had like delays after like went back and forth from the gate 4 times and ended up having to switch flights and all this stuff. Yeah. So I think it was supposed to be like a 1-something flight that we ended up changing flights to get on the 6:10 because our original one had gotten moved to 8:45.
Was it weather?
So, it was mechanical.
Oh,
It was mechanical, and then it was, this crew is not going to get paid overtime, so they had to wait for a new crew and all that type of thing. So
Unions.
Yes, exactly.
Bastards. No, that's good. Good for them. By the way, just a quick interlude. Saw my brother-in-law this weekend, and he's going to Springfield for something work-wise, I think. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm staying at the Wyndham City Center." I'm like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Go." And I told him,
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm like, my buddy told me it was the worst place he's ever stayed. He's like, "All right, well, looks like I'm rescheduling my hotel."
Yeah, I think there's I think it's a DoubleTree, like right down the street. Like that is easy walking distance. That is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll text him right now.
Yeah. Avoid the Wyndham City Center at all cost. Okay. So we're gassed by the time we even get to Vegas on Monday. So Brett and I were staying in the Luxor, which is south side of the Strip.
Yep.
And we were just like, we just want to get some food and go to bed. So it just in-house, like in Luxor, they have Public House, which is just like a nice sports bar feel. And we got there like 45 minutes before close, but we were starving because in that entire time we were waiting and going back and forth from the gate, we never ate dinner.
Oh.
So like had an early lunch and then no dinner. So we're like,
and here's 3 pretzels on the plane.
Yeah, exactly. And we are large men. So like we were just like, okay, we got to get moving on this. So we just sit down and we're like, the guy's like, hi, how's it going? We're like, okay, I want this to drink, this appetizer, and this entree.
Now.
And the guy's like, yeah. And the guy's like, okay. So and I've got a bunch of pictures for my trips. I was actually pretty good about taking pictures.
Yeah, good job.
Watch on the YouTubes. So this is just called Public House and it's in Luxor. First thing I had was like a banger to start. It's a pepperoni roll, which is essentially a mozzarella stick with a layer of pepperoni around the cheese. And then it's like an egg roll.
Oh yeah.
So real crispy, like all the little seasoning that's on top of that is very good. Just like a typical like marinara-y type sauce. But man, for just right off the bat, starving, and I get that to start my meal was fantastic. Like all the crisp on that egg roll, like the right amount of cheese in there, and then just like that layer of pepperoni around it was enough to like really get the pepperoni, but not have it be like too overpowering to where it's like pepperoni cheese. It's the right balance in there. So that was like, after eating those, I was like, okay, this is going to be good.
What's that other sauce? Is that Alfredo sauce?
I think it's like a ranch-y type sauce that I was just like, I'm not going to mess with that.
That doesn't seem to fit with that cuisine, but all right. It looks good. That looks very crunchy.
It was.
Yes.
It was texturally, it was fantastic.
Okay.
And then just like, you could tell it was good mozzarella too. You know, it's Vegas. They're going to hopefully be paying up for things.
Yeah.
And I saw something on the menu for my main meal because we were just like, listen, we're getting it in. Whatever. That I hadn't had in a long time. So, buddy, I went for the chili cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when you think of chili cheeseburger, that is what you think of. It was messy. It was good. And it was they did, and I know generally this will happen when it's like put on a burger. It was like a no bean chili.
Yeah.
So it was just like better for working with the burger. That there was like a real good cheddar cheese, just a high quality, no frills chili cheeseburger. And when I saw it, I was like, that is the flavor profile I want. We're doing that.
Yes.
And I was very, very happy with it.
I like that you are still young enough to eat that, then go to bed.
Well, I mean, I didn't go directly to bed.
Okay, because if I ate that and went to bed any sooner than like 5 hours afterwards, I would not go to bed. I would not be able to sleep.
Oh, no. I just went home and took care of business quickly and then went to bed, and I was perfectly fine.
Okay.
So that was the like, okay, let's get ourselves back to neutral here. That meal took care of that. And it's funny, as I've talked about, you know, like eating maybe slightly better, not making all the bad decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling's bad for that.
No, you can't.
Let me tell you.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's anytime you're out of your routine. And that's why I've been like, I was watching video, like I went back to find an old CHGO video from like early in the season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am visibly skinnier in this video. Like you can see that I am a different size in this video than I am now. Because I just had my week schedule every day, Monday through Friday, yada, yada. I'd have lunch at home, dinner at home for the most part.
Yep.
Now instead, when it's in the season, I'm having, you know, I got stuff going on during the day, maybe tending to parents. I'm eating lunch on the road. I mean, dinner on the road. Then I'm working late, so I need something when I get home. It's just like chaos. So I'm very pleased to be back on like a normal food schedule.
Yeah, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So that was my Monday. Tuesday, well, actually, on Monday when we got there, we hit up like the convenience store in the Luxor just to like load up on stuff for the room.
Yeah.
and there was a little kiosk of like odd foods, and it was like, I guess, like international foods. So remember those Twix pods that we had?
Yes.
Those were there, so I got those.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and there were giant Skittles. So I was like, well, I got to try these.
Yeah, that's you. That's your Skittles are you.
Yeah, so I didn't have those until Tuesday, and I'll be honest, little disappointed.
Really?
The flavor, like that shows size wise, like my giant ass thumb. Yeah, my giant ass thumb.
Rick, I was a little like Rick. Oh, okay, it's his thumb.
There's a nail. There's
you never
nail
know.
on there.
People have problems.
Okay. I guess that's one I would not have thought of.
I'm just telling you, if you quickly open that,
yeah,
you're just
I
like
guess
you're looking at your phone, like, okay, it's a thumb.
Hey Jay, what do you think of this?
What about this? Does this look infected?
Right.
Yes, there's a nail on it.
Yes, so those are very big Skittles.
Yes.
Now the ones that are more of like a citrusy flavor tasted pretty true to form, but like the grape and the cherry, not so much. Like they actually they tasted weird. It was like trying to make them citrusy, and I don't think it was very good.
Okay, here's my question: what country were they from?
Don't even know.
Okay, because there are different, like, candy is different in Europe than it is here. There's different regulations on food. They can't use as much artificial stuff. So, like, there has to be a variance, like, because of the ingredients they use.
Okay, UK.
Okay, yeah. See, that makes sense. Like, if you've ever had, like, even, like, chocolate from England versus, like, I'm not saying, like, of course, like Fannie Mae, but I'm saying... Sure. If you're talking like your typical Crunch Bar, right? Yeah. It's going to be different in Europe than it is here. They just have different standards and different procedures they use to prepare stuff. So it's not a huge surprise that there's a variance in that for me, especially something as artificial as a Skittle.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it, but it was mildly disappointing.
Okay.
And then on Tuesday as well, I had In-N-Out for the first time. Check that off the list.
Thoughts?
It was fine. It's fast food.
Yes.
Like anybody who says it's like great, I think is just feeding you some crap, because it's like, do I think the burger's as good as like Culver's? No. Like, is it better than like maybe McDonald's or whatever? Then yeah, sure. But like, I don't think it's extraordinary or anything special. And mind you, I think we had a bad batch of fries, so I'm not going to judge wholly on the fries, because the place we were at was slammed. And the time we were there, they went through almost 100 orders.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we weren't even there like that long. It was, I think the In-N-Out is kind of like middle of the strip.
Okay.
Because this was like on our way back from, we were in Vegas to go to NAB, so National Association of Broadcasters conference, and basically look at all the new toys and all that type of stuff, and try and get people to train our people on the new toys and all that type of stuff.
What was the big hit toy at the NAB?
So I hate admitting this because it's all so video related, and that's just not my background. I'm not quite sure but like what was cool to me was some of the more like Bluetooth connected cameras, where like you have your monitor, but then you can have the camera away from you a little bit, so that way you can get different angles while not having to be in the way as much. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and that could be like fairly standard by now, but like I just don't know. That's part of like my learning curve with this new job, is getting caught up on a lot of video stuff, but it was a lot of focus on like different switchers, different software, that type of thing. But yeah, for us, it was mostly like, let's get some people in to train our people on things, so when their freelance gigs are available, maybe they're the ones that are getting chosen because they can run the equipment that's getting brought in.
Smart. Keeping your employees and your union members up to date, so they're employable.
Yeah.
Once again,
that was
unions.
That was a goal.
Good thing.
Yeah.
The big hit when I went to NAB, if you want to know how old I am.
Oh God.
The micro SD card was like, you can hold 2,000 photos on this disc, and people are like, "What? It's so small." It's like there were lines out the door to see the micro SD card in action. And now it's like you can walk into it's like the checkout aisle at Jewel for $5.
$5.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's how long. I mean, I was in college. That was 2000, probably 2000, 99, 2000.
Okay, I was gonna say the year started with a 2. Good for you.
Yeah, barely. I graduated in January of 01. So
okay,
it was basically the 90s.
Yeah, that's funny. That's so good. Okay, so let's see. Tuesday, yeah, that was pretty much it for Tuesday.
Sorry. The In-N-Out thing.
Yeah.
You're right. Like it's good. And if it was here, it would be in the rotation.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those places
priority.
that it is regional, and it's something you grow up with, and it's something that you're like, if you want to experience this area I live, In-N-Out is part of that experience.
Yes.
So similar to like,
That makes sense.
I'm going to take, if someone visits me here, I'm going to take them to get a great pizza somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. And it might not actually be the best pizza they've ever had, but like to me it is. And this is what it's like to live here, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So I forget the order of the pictures already, so forgive me.
This is the
But
breakfast. I have the Excalibur.
The breakfast.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So a couple of the mornings, the thing in Vegas is everybody's like, okay, you got to hit up a buffet, some kind of buffet. And in the Excalibur, which is like right next door to us, they had a real nice buffet that turns over throughout the day. But the breakfast buffet, man, like on the screen, if you're watching on the YouTubes, biscuits and gravy, real solid. I always have to get the biscuits and gravy. But also they had like spicy, it was almost like a spicy potato hash type deal.
Yeah.
And it had chorizo in it. And then I added some red salsa and some cheese and like just made like great breakfast tacos. And the one day I was just like, I was starving. I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Thursday or whenever the hell we went. Or probably Wednesday. I had 4 tacos, 2 biscuits, and I think something else too. I don't remember what it was.
It's a
but
buffet.
I mean,
You have to. Gotta get your money's worth.
It was just so good. Like the quality of that potato stuff was great. I could not get enough of it. It was like a real solid way. You want to like have a good breakfast to like, because that's a lot of walking in Vegas. Up and down the strip is a ton of walk. Like my steps, it was like home, Vegas, home.
Yeah.
Home. So it's like, what are you doing?
It's like Disney World.
So
you walked 13 miles one day for some reason.
Right. Yeah. It was insane. But like that buffet was really good. And then we wanted to stay on like the south side of the strip a little bit. So we wanted to go look at like the M&M and the Coke shops.
Sure.
So right by there was like a little food court. And one side had like your basic stuff, like, Panda and Sbarro and whatever. On the other side, they had more regional stuff. So that's what Brett and I went to. So we got this place called Dirt Dog, which had like specialty looking hot dogs. And dude, I was spoiled for choices. I ended up getting the pastrami dog, which had a hot dog, pastrami, Monterey Jack, their like house spread, mustard, pickles, and bacon bits.
Okay. I mean, yes.
It was very good. And what's cool, served in like a lobster roll.
Oh, interesting.
So the bread's like what they use for a lobster roll. So it like really did help hold everything in there. You felt like you had a prayer when you were eating it. Like you're going to get messy. But it was very, very good.
So the lobster roll is what a Fenway Frank comes in when you go to a game at the Red Sox game. And for whatever reason, it's better. I don't know how to it holds up better. It's got a better taste. So I might start buying those for my hot dogs at home. I don't know.
Yeah, I was stuck between either the pastrami dog or the Snoop's dog.
Yeah. What is
which
Curtito?
Looks fantastic. I don't know.
Curtito, Henny Barbecue, Billionaire Bacon, Gin and Juice Ketchup.
Yep.
Okay. I like the DUI dog. Is that the yeah.
Curtido is a Salvadorian, like a fermented cabbage relish.
Okay. Man, this place does look like a mistake late at night.
Oh, absolutely. So like it was like a perfect thing to like, okay, let's put a base layer down for today.
Yeah.
And that was certainly it. And then at the we went to the M&M and Coke stores, and it was it was basically nothing special.
Yeah.
But I was able to get a bag of caramel M&Ms, which I haven't seen around near enough. And the caramel M&Ms are so good.
Those are good. It's so good you're traveling with fat people.
Yes.
Like you went to put on the facade of
no judgment.
Yeah, you went to put on the facade of like, I should get a salad for this meal. No, let's just fry everything.
Yep. Yeah. All right. And the last thing we did, because at that point, Brett and I wanted to go like explore more of the strip. John isn't as easily abled.
Yeah.
So to be able to walk around. So we went through and we went to like through the Caesars and the Venetian and all this stuff. Got to see like the gondola thing and the Venetian and whatever. Went to Black Tap Craft Burger and Beer, and that was when the Bulls were playing the Hawks. So we were able to the one good postseason game they played against a team that gave up on life more than they did. And we saw they were known for their shakes, and we knew this was our last night in Vegas. So we're like, well, guess we're doing it up.
Yeah.
Because that's a cookies and cream milkshake with a cookies and cream ice cream sandwich in it. And all that stuff that looks like it's spilled over the side is there on purpose, and you just chisel it away and then add it to the milkshake on the inside. And my God, was that an incredible milkshake. And also we were seated like kind of right at the entrance. So I think we were helping draw people in, and people were like going to get seated and like just side-eyeing it like they weren't trying to look at it. And it was absolutely insane.
You were like like they always have the loud winning slot machines like near the entrance.
That was us.
Just to get you to sit down. Yep. Oh man, that looks good. Man. So that along the rim, it's like a crusted, like a candied thing almost.
Kinda. It's almost like the ice cream was there for too long and it got a little solid. It like froze in that spot.
Oh man.
So then like you just take, I just like took the fork and would just like chisel away at it.
That looks amazing.
It was incredibly gluttonous. Like it felt like the most gluttonous thing that I ate there, which is a credit to it.
I mean, yeah, and you've had a lot. In fairness, no judgment, of course, you had a lot of gluttonous stuff there,
right? And that wasn't even the only like dairy treat, because I completely forgot to mention the sexy gelato that we had at Cocalina's, which was in the Excalibur. It was like as you walk in from like if you got a cab to the Excalibur or something. We called it the sexy gelato because just look at it, but also each one had like two big lumps on the top of it. So Brett turned to me and was like, is it bad that I'm kind of turned on by this gelato? So the one day we were like, we have to do this. And I don't even remember which day it was, but we ended up getting that, and it was like each got like two different flavors, and it was like the quality, it was just as good tasting as it looks.
Well, that looks very good. So
I got the cookie dough and the s'mores, and it was fantastic.
So Excalibur, if I remember correctly, is one of the older ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like a castle, and there's like but it's not one of the newer casinos. Which casino that you went through were you like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy?
Going through Caesars was pretty crazy when we did. We really didn't hit that part of the strip at all until like that last night before we left, just because it was decently far from us. But like hitting up Caesars, we ended up playing blackjack at the Horseshoe in New York.
Fun.
I actually loved like the vibe of the Horseshoe was awesome.
You didn't go to the old Vegas, did you? Like you actually have to like take a cab or a Uber to get there, where it's got the canopy over the street. God, people are screaming at their radios right now. Like, it's called this. Let me look it up. So people.
We did not.
Fremont Street. There it is.
We didn't.
So next time you go, it's cool because it's old, but they're doing their best to like keep it worth visiting.
Keep the integrity of it, but like
exactly.
bring it up
But
to date
you're
a little
also it's like looser slots.
Yeah,
because they want you to come. So it's a cool experience down in Fremont Street. Well, it sounds like you had a hell of a time in Vegas.
Yeah, and I ended up a little bit up playing blackjack at a table for the first time. So I appreciated our dealers, and mind you, it was obviously a low limit table, so I'm sure they were generally more accepting, but like just on little protocol things with me. Like I had a basic idea of like I never really played blackjack before. I knew the basic rules, but like some of the more when you should split, when you should double down, that type of stuff. Brett and Rizzo kind of gave me a crash course on, and then when we started playing, we played it at the Horseshoe, ended up like doubling up at least, and then went over to New York, and did the same thing. And so I'm like, hey, I'm up for the trip, and that is perfectly fine with me.
If you leave Vegas with more money than you left with, that is a win. Like,
oh yeah.
When I would go, I would just say, I'm taking as much money to gamble, as much as I can afford to lose. And when it's gone, it's gone. And if I come home with money, I call it a win.
Yes.
Yes. So if you finish with more, that's great.
I was treating it the same way you explained it. Cause like I tried playing craps one night and I'm like, maybe I'm just an idiot, but like some of the extra strategy kind of went over my head a little bit. So I like lost 100 there, but then won a couple hundred on blackjack and then won another couple hundred at the other place. So I ended up a little bit. So considering all of my expenses for the trip, it probably ended up being like a nice wash, which is perfect.
That's great. Yeah. You strike me as a guy who, if you really put time and effort into it, you'd be a pretty good table game player.
Yeah, like I feel like I picked up. I mean, blackjack's pretty straightforward in terms of the rules and stuff.
Well, like
so
craps,
that was
if you were to fully
pick up.
understand it, I think you'd do good at it.
Yeah. I think those types of things is kind of one of the skills that I feel like I have is that like probabilities and working with that. It's kind of like what my betting stuff is too.
Yeah, no doubt. See, that's what I'm talking about. Get a job over there. You shouldn't have come home. Anyway, that was 27 minutes of Rick's awesome Vegas trip.
Sorry.
No, it's great. That's what we're here for. People want to hear new stuff. And thanks to everybody, by the way, that sent Rick some recommendations. We got a lot of those. I wasn't able to get them all to him because he was working and busy and all that stuff. But thank you for sending those along. We appreciate that as always. And if you ever want to drive to Vegas, I recommend doing it in a Mazda. Maybe a CX-5 or a CX-30, a new CX-90, CX-50. They got so many great cars at Mazda. And when it's time to buy, head over to our friends at Mazda of Orland Park, 8910 West 159th Street. Give a call to Eric Vates. He will get you squared away with everything you need to know. And look, I say this all the time. You can buy a car pretty much anywhere. Hell, they've got car vending machines now. You can just walk up, push the button, and the car comes out. That's easy. But when you do that, you're not going to get the service you get at Mazda of Orland Park. You're not going to get the guarantees you get at Mazda of Orland Park. And just the general experience of owning the vehicle has been awesome. Anytime something goes wrong, I can pick up the phone, I can talk to Eric, I can talk to the service department, and they're going to help me out and get me squared away quickly. I've never had to wait more than like maybe 2 days max to get my car in if I need to. So, nice. Oh man, tomorrow I'm free. I got to get my oil changed. You log right on and you can do it all online. Set up your appointment. You're in and out in an hour. They've got a great waiting room. TV's on. They've got snacks. They've got drinks. Take a look at some of the new cars while you're waiting. No one bugs you. No one comes and tries to sell you anything. And when you're ready to go, they'll give you a call. Come on down. Your car's ready. And you're gone. Your car's washed. It's ready to go. And you're in and out the door in about an hour, top to bottom. It's great. Love it. You will too. Mazda of OrlandPark.com. So you started talking about ice cream. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm going to go because I finally found it. The Ben & Jerry's Marshmallow Sky ice cream, which I have been looking for forever. Hope found it at the Meyer in Flossmoor. So because she loves me, she bought 4 pints.
Nice.
We're 3 down, 1 to go. The Marshmallow Sky, if you've not heard, And if you know me, you know this is right up my alley. Marshmallow ice cream with marshmallow swirls and gobs of chocolate chip cookie dough and chocolate chip cookie dough and chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, chocolate chip cookie dough. Yes. Okay. I can read. There's 2 kinds of cookie dough in there is what I'm saying. Chocolate chip and
Reading
chocolate
is
chip.
good.
Yes. This hit every expectation that I had because I said this is basically if Ben & Jerry's created an ice cream specifically for me, this is what it would be. So I was a little afraid I was going to be let down by it. I was not. It was absolutely great. And I will keep buying pints because it's one of those limited edition ones, which is kind of frustrating. But
You gonna hoard it?
yeah, I'm going back to Meijer this week and getting at least 2 or 3 more because I don't know how long it's out. And this is the only I've never witnessed it in a store. Only Hope has seen it. But every time I go, I look. Even if I'm just stopping in for eggs or whatever, I'll always take a peek at the cooler to see if it's there. It's the only place that's had it by us. So if you can find it, try the Meijer by you, the Ben & Jerry's Marshmallow Sky. It's wonderful. It's absolutely great. And I've also visited a place I've been before and talked about on this podcast before. 5 Rabanitos in Pilsen. At the recommendation of one of our emailers telling us to go to Rudy's in Pilsen on 18th Street. So I set out before work, like I'm going to go to Rudy's. I'm going to take 18th Street into work and I'm going to stop there. But Rudy's is only open like Thursday to Sunday and like from 4:30 and later. So it doesn't work for me to have lunch there. So I'm like, all right, well, I've been to 5 Rabanitos many, many times. So I'll just go there again because it's great. Went in, and I don't know if I just had, like, missed it the last few times I was there, but they've got that Cochinita Pibil, the stuff I love from Chuck's.
Yeah.
Buddy, this picture was taken by me. This is not like a a menu photo that I downloaded from the internet. Like, this is what they put in front of me at 12:15 on a Tuesday.
Wow.
It was absolutely awesome. And you get to see you got the black beans with the cotija cheese on there, the habanero pickled onions, some shredded radishes that add a little bit of crunch to the texture of everything, and then of course the marinated pork shoulder, which is like the key to the Cochinita Pibil, and then you get a side of tortillas that they make in-house. It was $20. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of a lot to pay for lunch. And then like the next day I got Chipotle and it was like 16. I'm like, why would I ever?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like I went to Wendy's the other day. I got 2 spicy chickens and a large pop. It was $17.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would I not just go to 5 Rabanitos every day, have something that is home cooked, home prepared, never frozen. It's made fresh every day. It's made with a smile. They're happy I'm there. It's supporting a local business. Like I got to get in this mindset now because maybe it's like 2 or 3 more bucks on the menu. I'd rather pay that and know I'm getting quality food. I'm actually sitting down and eating it instead of eating it in my car and not even really enjoying it. You know, so this was awesome. So if you want to visit 5 Rabanitos, it is at 1758 West 18th Street in Pilsen. It is so good. I've been there before. I've talked about it on this show before, but it's the first time I've had the Cochinita Pibil prepared that way. I've had their Pibil tacos, which are similar. Like they'll just give you one of those, but to get the entire serving and the whole thing of fresh tortillas was just unreal. It was so effing good. And I'm going back this week at some point.
That looked fantastic.
Yes. I mean, the people in Pilsen know what they're doing.
Right.
I also will recommend Pilsen on a warm spring or summer day. The scenery is incredible.
Yes, it is.
Yes. I texted Hope. I'm like, you should be here with me, and not because of the food. Yeah.
Okay. So I in my few days at home before I had to go to effing Cleveland, on Friday, Sam and I wanted to go out for dinner, and there was a place, there's always stretches of a road where if for whatever reason it's a mental blind spot.
Yes.
So right by us on Irving Park, there's a spot which I found out from Russ because I texted him about I messaged him about this place and was just like, hey, this is a place you should hit up, and it's Orale Mexican Bar and Grill, 7219. I can't even, I think that's Orchard Lane. Holy cow. I can't even read my handwriting. Holy crap. Yeah.
It is,
7219 Orchard Lane.
Yeah.
Wow. That was her. I must not have been looking at the paper while I wrote that. That's impressive. And we went in there not quite knowing, because it's not the best looking building in the world. Apparently, I learned from Russ, it's one of those locations where like it keeps churning over and over and over and over, and just like it's a bad luck spot.
Yeah.
However, if it's like what it was when we were there, it's going to be good for a while, because like first, just looking at the menu, like, okay, they're trying to like be something different, because Hanover Park is not your like most upscale neighborhood in the world. So, so the first thing I got, a Oaxacan old fashioned.
Oh yeah.
Which, man. So it had mezcal, bitters, agave, and a maraschino cherry in there.
Oh yeah.
So like that, it was like with the, just like the smokiness, it like was where it like kind of goes up into your nostrils a little bit. Mm-hmm. You like feel that oh man, the balance between like the mezcal and having that like more of your old fashioned traditional stuff was so good.
That looks amazing.
Like it's one that I don't know that I could have like many of those. I know it's not meant for that either. But like I had that, and then I had like a watermelon margarita, which was so refreshing.
Yes.
Like after the old fashioned, but just in general, if you just came in on like a hot day, that would be exactly what I wanted. It was a muddled watermelon, their house mixed tequila and triple sec.
Yes.
Like hell yes.
That sounds awesome.
And you could just tell the thought that goes into every dish.
Yeah.
So then we're like, okay, well, if we're on this type of heater with just the drinks, like we got queso fundido for an app, and it's chorizo list so that Sam can have it and whatever, but it was still fantastic. They're like, hey, if you need more tortillas, just let us know. We'll bring it over. And that salsa verde,
that looks so good.
I could bathe in it. Like my stomach literally just growled as I'm looking at this right now. It like the food kept just like hitting exactly. You could tell what they want.
Yeah.
And it was like, we ate every bit of that. And then Sam got fajitas, which were fantastic. And I got the alambre, which almost looks kind of like a hash type deal.
Yeah.
It's steak, chorizo, bacon, sausage, ham, bell peppers, and melted cheese.
Holy shit, dude. Those are all the good words in a row.
Yes, I know. And then you see the thing of tortillas there. So you're just making your own tortillas. The rice was fantastic too. And like their beans, so like their little cup of beans.
Yeah.
It's a thinner consistency. It's almost closer to almost like a sauce. It's really between what what refried beans are and a sauce. So like I tried it, and even though I'm not a big refried beans person, it was pretty good. I didn't have a ton of it, but I did have some of it with this. But it was basically just like create your own like burritos tacos with this, and it was, man, it was fantastic.
So good.
And at that point, that was when the owner and one of the managers were walking around just to see how everybody was doing. They've only been open for a few months, and he was talking our ear off, but it was one of those, like, it was awesome because he's passionate about what he's trying to do. Because he's like, listen, I see these types of places in St. Charles and Geneva and Batavia. He's like, I wanted to bring it to a town like this where people wouldn't expect it, to be able to have a higher end, like, Mexican food spot that's a little more unique, a little more creative. And like, you could just tell the passion there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm telling, like I said, everything was like top notch. And then we were like, well, we got to get dessert.
Of course.
So they're like, well, yeah, we got churros. And we're like, well, that's happening. Churros with the caramel and ice cream, and like everything's fresh. The crunch on those churros was unreal. So just like to have that good of a food experience. And then he brought over, the owner brought over some tequila for us to try.
I see that.
So yes, those were consumed as well.
Nice.
So it was a great experience. So I would highly recommend it to anyone. Again, 7219 Orchard Lane in Hanover Park. It's just off of Irving Park Road, like off of Irving Park Road, just west of 390. So I couldn't recommend it enough. The only caution I'll say is that I recommended this to Russ, and I wanted, full transparency with it. So Russ went in for lunch. Now, Sam and I had gone in for dinner. He went in for lunch, and he said he stood there. There was nobody. No employees were out on the floor or anything. And he was like, hello? And nothing.
Weird.
So he waited for like 10 minutes and then left. And I don't blame him at all.
No, that's
if
weird.
Nobody's there. So maybe if you have a chance, if you have the ability to choose, maybe go dinner over lunch. Maybe it was just an isolated incident. I don't know. My experience was fantastic. Russ's sucked, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But if there are people there to serve you, it's very, very good.
I mean, sometimes when you got a place that's new and they're just barely getting there, they probably got one or two people working, and someone's probably doing dishes, and they're water's running, and someone maybe is in the bathroom, and you're screwed. I mean, that's tough. But I mean, the fact that you had the customer service experience that you had, where they were coming out with you, it seems like it was probably just a blip.
Yeah, bad luck for Russ, which sucks.
Yeah,
because Russ doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't. Nor does he deserve pay, according to us. Hey, by the way, speaking of like creative food and awesome dishes and reliable service, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Go check them out. Get the I'm Fat Pizza, the I'm Fat Burger, the I'm Fat Grilled Cheese. But honestly, as we say it all the time, Rick, everything there is just fantastic. And we're going to steer you right now, as Mother's Day is approaching, to FredosBakery.com. Order some of those cookies. Order some of those brownies for Mom. They're going to go a long way. They're terrific. It's a 2-pound box. They're individually wrapped, and they'll ship them right to you. You'll get them quick. And again, because every item is individually wrapped, you don't have to worry about eating 2 pounds of brownies or 2 pounds of cookies in like 3 or 4 days so they don't start to turn or get stale. They stay fresh forever. So don't hesitate. FredosBakery.com. Get those cookies or brownie orders in. And if you're at FredosPizza.com and you want to place an online order, please do. And use our code I'm Fat, and you'll save 10% every time you place the order at Fredo's. Okay, so this week we had to take Addie out to Bolingbrook to babysit my niece and nephew. So Hope and I had the night to ourselves and said, let's go try something new. And Hope has literally purchased a little book she brings with her. And when we think of something we want, she writes it down. She has it sorted by Western Burbs, City, North Side, South Side, whatever. And so we're driving through Lemont, where we used to live, downtown Lemont. And much like I talked about downtown Lockport when we talk about Nick and Ivy, and we will a little bit, downtown Lemont has also had like this complete resurrection. When I lived there, it wasn't bad by any means when I lived there. But like when we left, a bunch of new stuff started popping up. Like Pollyanna opened maybe like a month before we moved out, maybe 2 months or 3 months, something like very, very quickly.
When I think Lemont, that's what I think of.
Yeah, and then so right on the corner, so we used to live on Stevens Street in Maine. Like we were right next to the police station. It doesn't matter, we don't live there anymore. Our address is 410 Main Street. We were right there next to Greta's Garrett Antique Shop, and that was our apartment. And then so now that spot, a door west of the antique shop, is like this event space where there's like learn how to make a charcuterie board or come and have a wine tasting, or they do yoga. And then across Stevens Street is Pollyanna Social, which is like a cocktail bar owned by Pollyanna.
Oh, interesting.
So then you go up the hill on Stevens Street, and what used to be, boy, I'm struggling to remember the name. It was like a townie bar.
Okay.
It was a place where people went to get drunk, and that was it. And it was cool. It was a very cool townie bar. That closed, and now it is called Wooden Paddle, wood-fired pizzas. And when I tell you that is underselling their menu, I can't even begin to tell you. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. I'm going to pull the menu up here. I do have pictures too, but I'm going to pull the menu up. So here are the appetizers. Polenta shrimp pops, fried meatballs. The people next to us had the fried meatballs, and they looked amazing. Focaccia honey basalt butter, goat cheese arancini, fried brie, the duck fat hot wings. We got those. They were fucking amazing. The Humboldt and prosciutto toast, the champagne mushroom stack, not really my thing, obviously. Then you get to the pizzas, right? Freak-a-leek, which is butter leeks, crispy pancetta bits, provolone manchego, creamy avocado puree, chili, honey, black pepper. We didn't do that. We did the Rocket Man, which is the arugula, the hand-sliced prosciutto, fresh mozzarella, extra virgin olive oil, fresh grated Parmesan, and balsamic reduction. Absolutely unreal. They've got one called the Sausage Fest, which I love.
Was there pizza under all that green?
Yes, and I'll tell you, like, it actually, because it was a non-sauced pizza, it wasn't a red sauce pizza. It actually did a good job of keeping the balsamic reduction like to the perfect flavor. A lot of it fell off when you would pick it up. Sure, but it was really good. And then the buzzkill is what I got: Calabrian chili peppers, pepperoni, fresh basil, fresh mozzarella, house-made tomato sauce, and sweet honey. So,
nice. Yeah,
let me share the pictures now. And I'm going to show you, so you'll see Hope's here first. And because I want to show Hope's first because my drink is in the background too.
Oh, okay.
So there's Hope's, and you can see like the prosciutto is right there underneath the arugula. Sure. The balsamic was perfect. Like sometimes balsamic can be like a little bit, like, I don't know, it's a little bit like unpredictable, if that makes sense. Like you're not sure if it's going to be too much or not. It was great. And then I got the Cactus Whisperer. That's a cocktail behind it. It's 21 seeds, cucumber, jalapeno, tequila, prickly pear, Amaro, Montenegro, Scarborough bitters, and fresh lemon juice. You talk about refreshing, and it was great. Hope got the Fire and Ice, which is the mezcal, passion fruit liqueur, lime juice, simple syrup, habanero bitters, and fresh basil. The cocktails were great. And now I will show you my pizza. There's the buzzkill. The Calabrian chili peppers added an amazing spice and kick to it. The pepperoni was crispy. You could see it's like curled up, like cup style. Yes. And a lot of those pepperonis are holding the honey.
Oh, okay.
Which, because the pizza was so hot, the honey wasn't thick. It was almost like,
nice.
I don't want to say watery. That's wrong. But you know what I mean? It wasn't like something that would get on you and be sticky. It just, the flavor just absorbed into the pizza. Rick, this place was awesome. It was so good. I would say it's probably the best brick oven pizza I've had.
Okay.
It was terrific, and I can't wait to go back and try those appetizers. I want to try those meatballs that the appetizer had. And then for dessert, we had the Luxardo cherry gelato. Ooh, oh, my God, dude. It was so good. It was so good. So go try this place and walk around Lemont. It is a completely different place from when I lived there. It's called Wooden Paddle, 212 Stevens Street in Lemont. And then walk down Stevens Street, like cross Main, cross the tracks. There's like an awesome record store there, Italian restaurants. Like it's really, really picking up. And if you like Pollyanna, it's right there. And that Pollyanna Social is right in the corner of Stephen and Main. I couldn't believe how much the area has changed since I've last been there. It was phenomenal. Wooden Paddle, 1,000,000 thumbs up.
Nice. All right. Well, you make a judgment call here because we're timing wise.
Yeah.
We're running long. I haven't even gotten to Cleveland yet. Should I just leave Cleveland for next week? It's a couple places.
No, let's do Cleveland. I got a couple little notes, and then we'll do Ask a Fan. We'll get out of here.
Cool. All right. So the first place I went to in Cleveland, sadly, the plane delays were not to Cleveland because then I would have spent less time in Cleveland. And it's just like we kept looking like, is there something else to do? Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, some of the restaurants it's a little more updated from like the last time I was there. But yeah, there's like jack to do in Cleveland. So it was, like whatever, at least the draft happened while we were there. So that killed one of the nights. But a couple times actually, we went to a place that one of the guys recommended who had been there before us, before we went, was Zanzibar.
Okay.
It's at 627 Prospect Avenue East in Cleveland. It's right by like your main downtown area in Cleveland. Wasn't quite sure going in, but it's like a soul. It's a Zanzibar soul fusion.
Ooh.
And dude, everybody like was looking at the menu, and there was this awesome like cheesy seafood type pasta that they had that a lot of people got that said was out of this world. Had like shrimp in there, and I think there was like some sort of like lobster sauce and whatever. So like it looked very decadent, very like really, really good. I couldn't get past it was like Cajun wings.
Oh.
And it was like a Cajun dry rub.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, this is just happening. I don't care if people are like, we're getting all this, and I'm like, it was just fantastic. So it was their jerk wings, which
You didn't
came
send me
with a
these, did you?
side. No, I did not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Because I ate them very quickly. So it was jerk wings, and it was like a dry rub of like jerk seasoning with Cajun corn and mac and cheese.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, the quality of the wing, like it wasn't even like a good wing where like you bite and then like the chicken just kind of like falls off. It was no, you bite and you can see your bite and it comes off the bone clean, but it's not like falling off.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
don't want wet
fry
wings.
was, yeah, it man, and like these were we both have talked about. We generally prefer boneless wings. I got every bit of meat off of the bone on these wings because it was easy to do, and the taste was incredible. Whatever that Cajun dry rub or that jerk dry rub is, like bottle it and send it to me because like my mouth is watering thinking of it. It was that good.
Oh, that sounds
And then
amazing.
like the Cajun corn, like giving a little bit of kick and like pumping up and elevating corn a little bit. And then you have the mac and cheese to kind of cool it down was like, you can just tell they think about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then their drinks, if you are not getting booze, you get like a 32-ounce mason jar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of like so it's like literally I got the Sunrise, which is lemonade mixed with red Kool-Aid.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Oh, dude.
Show us your stump.
Yeah. And the best part is like I drink mine and whatever. And I'm like, man, that was like really hit the spot. They're like, do you want a refill to take back? I was like, yes, please. So when I like mixed it, it was like all red. So I'm like, it looks like I'm carrying a kidney back to the hotel because this thing was so huge.
Hey, you're in Cleveland. You never know.
Right. But like seeing what everybody else got, the fact that there are some people that literally went there 4 times in a 1-week trip. That's how much they like the place.
Damn. All right. If
Yeah,
I
so
ever
that
end up there.
Yeah, that soul food pasta is the thing that everybody got that they said was just like, you absolutely have to do it if you go.
Okay.
It was like a big recommendation too. Of course, the menu on the website doesn't actually say everything that's in it, which sucks, but just trust me. I'm trusting everybody else. I saw their reactions to eating it. It is a showstopper.
Isn't Homage based in Cleveland?
Yes.
Did you
yes,
go?
it is.
Was that shop still there? I remember it was there when the World Series was going on, but I didn't know if it was maybe just a pop up for the World Series.
It might have been a pop-up.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing it, but I didn't do a ton of walking around because like where the hotels were, it wasn't directly in the center of everything. So like I saw a little bit of stuff, but that's really about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's right by, is it still Progressive Field, I believe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was walking distance from there because I remember like World Series festivities happening and us walking around and seeing that place.
Yeah. And then the other thing that was of note that we did in Cleveland, which of course there were only 2 because we were there like 4 days. So Brett and I were like, I had told Brett about Melt because I had gone there when I was up there with my mom and my brother, and he was at the Cleveland clinic, and I had taken them there. So I was like, well, I can only assume this is still there. So we're going. And it's not directly in downtown. We had to take an Uber out to Lakewood. So it was like a 10-minute drive, I think, 10 to 15-minute drive. Totally worth it because, whoo boy, is it exactly what I remembered it of, just like gluttony and grilled cheese. That is exactly what Melt is. So the first thing we had was mac and cheese bites, or it was like mac and cheese wedges, which those are not thin.
No,
those are thick.
Those are thick boys.
Yeah, those are like 2 C's of mac and cheese wedge there with like a marinara and some parm on top, and fantastic, good fry on it. Like just absolutely fantastic. And like a great appetizer. And even though we're like, well, we're getting grilled cheeses, what do we want? More cheese for the appetizer. Yes. And they have plenty of other options as well. So the one we went to, by the way, was in Lakewood. So that was 14718 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood. It's a nice little area. There's a few different restaurants right around there that looked intriguing, but we had our heart set on Melt. And then just like, also, if you ever get a chance, just look at their menu because it is ridiculous. Just everything that they have. Like it is like cheesy bacon fries.
Oh, okay.
Just like going through their wings look really good. Have not had them. They've got different types of soups. I guess they have salads for, the worst kind of people.
Right.
But we were both deciding what to get in terms of our grilled cheese, and I'm trying to find the actual description of what I had, and I can't find it.
Would the picture
help?
help?
Hell with it. The picture might help. I think it was called the Hot Italian. And it was essentially, here's a bunch of Italian meats, banana peppers, and a ton of cheese.
Banana peppers. I was like, is that corn? I couldn't figure out what that was. Or pineapple? Yeah, banana peppers
the
make
banana pepper gives it a little bit of kick.
Yes, it does.
Man, the it's also just like, they're throwing a crap ton. So you worry sometimes with places like this. Oh, they're throwing a crap ton of stuff on whatever. Does that mean the quality of each thing is not that great? And you're getting your value in terms of volume. No, I felt like the quality of each ingredient is good.
I feel like I can taste this sandwich. That bread looks really crunchy.
Yes, it is.
Like the Italian bread with the Parmesan crust on top. That looks excellent.
It was out of this world. And Brett had not been there, so he had no reference, really. He ordered a Monte Cristo. And, dude,
this is the most...
check that shit out.
This is ridiculous.
It's like, it needs a skewer because, like, you can't fit both halves and the fries on the plate. Right. And that is a standard plate. That is not a small plate. That is a gigantic sandwich. So he had to take half of it back to the hotel.
Yeah, that's a lot of fried and sugar and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong, but holy moly.
He said the taste was fantastic.
Well, I hope so. It's deep fried ham and cheese with powdered sugar on it. It's a ham and cheese funnel cake.
Yes. So, like, there's quite a few locations, I think, of Melt. There's like a handful at least. But yeah, the one I went to was 14718 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. So if you're looking for a reason to get out of Cleveland when you're in Cleveland, go to Lakewood.
There you go.
Go to Melt.
Fair enough.
Find a different location if one of them is closer to you, because Melt should be a priority. Cleveland, not so much.
For as much as my daughter's generation drives me crazy, I do credit them for just turning the word Ohio into an insult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's now an adjective. Something can be Ohio, which means it sucks.
Yeah. Which really, I think it should probably be reserved a little bit more for Indiana, but that could just be,
I don't know how much you listen to Odyssey. I was listening to the score a lot this week because of the draft stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's a streaming ad like, visit Indiana. And my guttural reaction is always, no. I'm not doing that. One of the things is like, come see exotic animals. In Indiana? What do you have a different squirrel? Like, what are you talking about? Anyway,
It's ridiculous.
By the way, we need to share the news?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Sam shared it on the fan page that Harriet Gord is gone.
Yeah.
She picked a battle against a car and did not win.
Yeah.
So, and it just sucks because like actually seeing, like, sure, Sam always had like a big bag of peanuts to be able to throw out there when either Harry or we assume it's her boyfriend Marv were around, that they would come and they would get the peanuts and they would bury them and come back and always always do their thing. So Harry had gone across the street and was coming back to get more. And, yeah, like I feel really bad for Sam because she legitimately got like Harry trusted Sam. She would get pretty close to her. So it sucks because she was right there. She saw it happen. She heard it happen. Yes. And yeah. So, Harry is now buried under our front yard tree. So that it just sucks because with the babies and just like kind of, you can never really tell with a wild animal, but like personality wise, you can tell a little bit when you're around any of them enough or any animal enough.
Yeah. And
like Harry seemed pretty cool. So yeah. So R.I.P. to Harry because that's very unfortunate.
Well, and sorry to Sam for having to deal with that. I mean, there was like a week span where I like ran over 3 birds.
Oh.
They were like throwing themselves under my car, and I like still think about it. And I had no connection to those birds. I don't know. Yeah, different. No, Indiana, different animals. Okay. I don't know. I didn't do anything to cause it. I didn't seek them out and like play a game with them. It just happened, and
sure,
it shakes you up. And now, let alone some animal she had a connection to, it's rough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to make the awkward transition from Harriet Gord to Nick and Ivy Brewing. So when you go to Nick and Ivy, order an extra beer and pour one out for Harriet Gord. And for Sam, because that was tough for her. But they've got great craft beers for you there at Nick and Ivy. And I was just talking about how much Lemont has changed. Lockport times 10. Downtown Lockport is incredible. If you haven't been there in a while, go check it out. 1026 South State Street is the address for Nick and Ivy. They've got incredible craft beers, open mic nights. They've always got something going on at Nick and Ivy. It is just an awesome neighborhood bar with the craft brew quality beers. They've got pinball machines. They've got live music. They got a ton going on all the time. And they let you bring in food from any of the great places nearby. So like there's Lock and Mule right there. Stagecoach is right there. Taco Heaven is right there. Like there's so much good food right there, right across the street from Nick and Ivy. Grab it, bring it in, pull up to the bar, grab a chair, and just enjoy the wonderful, wonderful drinks at Nick and Ivy. And now that the weather's getting better, like, oh man, like it's just a great time to go out with friends again, enjoy the weather, enjoy each other's company, and there's no better place to do it than Nick and Ivy Brewing, 1026 South State Street in beautiful, historic downtown Lockport. With that, is it time to ask the Fats?
Oh, it's more than time.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask a Fat is brought to you by our buddy, Charlie the Bacon Guy, and here is this week's Bacon Report unedited, so I apologize for any sort of hiccups or pauses.
Thanks, Jay. This week's available flavors are rosemary, Korean barbecue, vanilla bourbon, paprika, Canadian bacon, and ground bacon. Coming very, very soon, jalapeno garlic, cheddar, ranch, maple pepper, and honey chipotle. Keep an eye out for when those get up on the website. It should be about Wednesday this week. Bacon jams are the original. The bourbon and habanero honey is making a comeback.
Hell yes.
Thanks to everybody who placed an order this month. We had a really successful month, and I'm really happy with where this is going. For the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
You have to raise Charlie's rates, apparently. Go to charliethebaconguy.com and get yourself some bacon. Get yourself some bacon jam. Get yourself some of the sweet new merch. Have you seen the new merch? Have I sent it to you?
I don't know if
I gotta
have.
find it. It's like Hawks themed. I wonder if I can pull it up.
Oh, yes, you have.
It looks awesome.
It is awesome looking.
I changed my text to expire after 30 days, so I don't have any old text anymore. But it's really cool. Go to charliethebaconguy.com. Check it out. They've also got the bacon vault there, so you can see everything he's made in the past, and you can order that. Again, Rick, this week we had baked potato night, and that bacon jam on a baked potato is just perfect. And by the way, that ground bacon, get yourself some ground bacon, and just, even if you don't know what to do with it right now, throw it in the freezer. You can use it to make chili. You can use it to make like a burger patty, like if you want to make like a 50-50 mix. Like, that is just, if you're anyone that enjoys cooking,
it's versatile. Having
a pound of ground bacon is awesome. It saves you a ton of like work with the knife, or if you have a grinder, it's already pre-done. You know it's good bacon. I really recommend that. I want to get some so I can make some chili here soon, because I know it's getting to spring, but I still have a craving for some chili. I don't know if I scratched the itch enough this fall. So
okay, because I would say it's like 80 out there today.
I know. And if you order from Charlie, and if you order enough, maybe he'll share his chili recipe with you, because it's phenomenal. CharlieTheBaconGuy.com. Go get your bacon. If you want to shoot him an email for whatever reason, maybe you want to do a special order or order something that's not available on the site at this moment, CharlieTheBaconGuy@gmail.com. You could also follow him on Instagram at CharlieTheBaconGuy. Twitter too, at CZTheBaconGuy. We have no emails today. I'm sorry, we have no voicemails today. That number, if you want to leave one, is 708-858-3314. Our email is imfatpod@gmail.com, and that's what Popcorn Andy used, so he's going to kick us off. He says, hello, Rick and Jay. Rick, congratulations on your Fatness Championship tournament. Shade, Rick, when you and Sam go back to your donut run, I would like your and Sam's thoughts on Deer Donuts, 570 South Randall Road in St. Charles.
I am writing that down right now, because we're kind of short on new donut places.
Well, you should make a run to the city and go to Voodoo Donuts too.
Yes.
It's great. Okay, and then he follows up with a thought on Panera. He says, have either of you been to Panera since they changed their menu on April 1st? They seem to have reduced the menu size and made things more affordable, under $10. I recently tried one of their new sandwiches, the Toasted Italiano. I was very pleased with my choice. The bread was very fresh and toasted perfectly, and the meat was the correct amount. With this new discovery, I'm placing Panera back in my sandwich rotation. Let us know if you try the new menu. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks, your fat friend, Popcorn Andy. Yeah, I have been kind of out on Panera myself lately.
I haven't been to Panera in minimum 5 years.
Okay. Well, Hope and Addie go, like, anytime I'm working, they go. They get Panera all the time. And my thought on it is, like, for the money I'm paying, it's not that good. It's not bad.
Right.
But if they've gone about...
It's like solid hospital food.
That's true. But if they've gone out of their way to improve things and reduce the menu, or reduce the cost, I'll give them another shot. I do love the bacon turkey Bravo sandwich. And I will say, their soup is excellent. The Panera soup is always very good. Their chicken noodle is amazing. If you get yourself a bread bowl, it's terrific. But I've not sought out Panera in quite a while, so I'll check it out.
Yeah.
No promises, but I'll look. I'll at least look.
Fair. All right. Next one here is from Nick. Hey, boys, love the show. Actually, I got to say it like Big Z. Hey, boys, love the show. Weekly listener in the Northern Burbs here. Just wanted to honor our new winner into the Onion Ring of Honor. Me and 3 friends were lucky enough to go to the Masters this year.
Nice.
We went to the tournament on Thursday. As you might have heard, Augusta National is very hilly. During our walk around the property, walking up the 10th fairway, it is straight uphill walking from green to tee, the fats were exposed. The normies were at least 150 yards in front of us, walking at a good pace, and the fats were absolutely sucking air. Luckily, there were a few pockets of shade, and whenever we got to them, we definitely took advantage. So thank you, Shade, for preventing at least one patron from having swamp ass the entire day. Thanks for the endless entertainment, boys. And P.S., there's nothing like crop dusting Amen's Corner.
That's cool. That'd be a fun thing to do.
That's great.
I would enjoy. I just, it feels expensive.
There's a chance I might get to go for work.
Oh, hell yeah.
One of these years, because it's a CBS show and we have CBS sports contracts. So,
well, yeah, and you can get into the hospitality tent that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. All right, one more, also Masters based because we missed the a week. So this one's from Bobby. He said sent this on Masters weekend, and Bobby says one of the traditions in the Masters is that the reigning champion hosts a dinner for past winners. Ask Fuzzy Zeller about that. They get to pick the menu. It's a pretty cool tradition. Also, it's part of the tradition that the reigning champion has to pay for the meal. Question: if you were putting on a dinner in your honor and needed to pick a menu that would fully encapsulate your identity, what appetizer, side, entree, dessert, and drinks would you offer? Thanks, guys. Love the pod. All right, this is fun. I like this. So my first thought is I would just get Rosangelo's pizza for everybody, but that's not really like a tangible thing I can do at the Masters. So I'm thinking Italian beef bar. Okay, so you've got someone with the French bread rolls. You've got the tray of Italian beef. Next to that, you've got the Italian sausage with the peppers.
Okay.
So you can make a combo sandwich if you'd like. I would also have some sort of pasta option there. Maybe like a mostaccioli, something to put on the side. For dessert, I would just have an expansive thing of cookies and ice cream. And then like my like signature drink would be a spicy margarita with a tahini rim.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
All right. The thing with this is that we have to pay for it. So
That's the Italian beef.
yeah. So what I'm going to do is we're going fast food version.
Oh, you're going to Trump style.
Yeah. yes, we are. Yes. So, in terms of the appetizer, I'm thinking maybe the pretzel bites from Culver's.
Oh, nice.
I like that. Maybe give like a couple options there. So like pretzel bite from Culver's, or let's go like a Wendy's baked potato.
Oh, nice.
Your side is going to be the curly fries from Arby's. The entree, depending on if you want, I'll give a chicken and a beef option, is going to be a Butterburger from Culver's, or a Popeye, or not a Popeyes, a Portillo's spicy chicken sandwich.
Okay.
So that way you're getting giardiniera in there too, so there's a little bit of Chicago to it.
Yes.
And the dessert, I want to go, I guess I could just do like DQ or something like that, but that, I don't know that that's necessarily in the spirit of what this is. Dessert, this is where I'm going to pay up a little bit. I'm going to find one of the distributors or people who made the caramel apple empanadas from Taco Bell, and they are going to be hired to make them for this meal. I will have my goddamn caramel apple empanadas.
That's it. And you'll have the golf world on board, and it will become like the official deep fried empanada of the PGA or Live, whichever one, you want.
Yes.
By the way, I thought you were going to go French silk pie.
Well, but you got
to serve a lot.
Maybe we have to serve a lot, but actually seeing how Baker Square like churns through people that want pies at Thanksgiving, maybe I'll just do that and have it not be all true fast food, and have that along with the caramel apple empanada, so you get either a chocolate or a non-chocolate choice.
Yeah.
So I will go with that. And for drink, the agave cream soda from Jersey Mike's.
Oh yeah.
And then that's pretty versatile, so you can mix whatever you want with that.
That's true. That's a good point.
So that's a BYOB part of it, because I ain't paying for your booze. So yes. So I think that's how I would approach it.
By the way, this reminded me, I know you're not a huge Chipotle guy. I know you prefer Qdoba. They have these new like juices, these like aguas frescas at Chipotle now. They're like in the constantly like the churning machine.
Oh, okay.
I've always gone for the hibiscus lemonade. The tangerine drink is just phenomenal. And you want to talk about like refreshing in the summer? If you're ever in a Chipotle, try it's like by a brand called Tractor, but again, they're in like the horchata mixing like the juice
Oh,
constantly
okay.
like churning machines.
Yeah.
I think there's three or four options, but that tangerine one is just. I'm like looking forward to the first roasting hot day, so I can just go to Chipotle and just get one of those.
Nice.
And
I
chill.
always think of those machines as the New Orleans bad decision drink
Oh
machines.
yes. The hurricane.
Yes.
Come and throw up green. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we did it. We made it.
Yes.
Right? Or did we forget an email?
Yes.
No, we got
No.
them all. All right, look
No,
at
we
us.
got them.
We became a team
And
today.
my travel is over for a while.
Huzzah.
Thank God. Follow us on all of our social media at I'm Fat Pod, I'm Fat Pod at gmail.com. Check out Patreon, Spotify if you like, and I'm fatmerch.com to check out all of our merch. And anything from TeePublic, just start with our link and we get a bit of a kickback on whatever you end up buying because, hey, it's election season. Kickbacks are, it's just the name of the game.
Yep.
YouTube.com/I'm Fat Podcast. Subscribe, like each video. And if you can, if you're just a regular podcast listener, mute it, toss it on a tab that you're never going to click, and we get that hour listened. Or, hey, give the YouTube a try. And you know, feel better about yourself after seeing our faces.
Well, especially this one. There were so many pictures in this episode.
A lot of pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good one to, even if you're maybe try and sync it up, or just do the YouTube version.
Yeah,
It makes more sense that
You'll
way.
be all right.
And then you can subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed, and leave us the old 5-star rating and review. We haven't gotten a review since February.
Come on.
So
Jerks.
that would be nice. Please.
Screw it. Send us pictures of your 5-star reviews. Someone will win a t-shirt at the end of May. 5-star review drive. Let's go. Take a screenshot, email it to us, imfatpod@gmail.com, and we'll throw your name into a hat for an I'm Fat Podcast t-shirt from imfatmerch.com.
Awesome. So 4J, actually, no, I'm wrong
What?
because I'm an idiot. One
yeah.
week off and I'm out of practice because, you know, the most important thing you can do is check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Fredo's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. So 4J, I'm Rick. I'm done with travel and very happy. And this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
French toast, grilled cheese, and ham sandwich.